Well, glory be and mercy me. We've done it yet again. Here we are. Walk through the graveyard. So, Press Progress has reported that there is grumblings amongst the Conservative Party to further privatize the healthcare system, right? That the justification will be, the collapsing healthcare system, which was shown to be ineffectual over the course of this pandemic. The solution to the problems that ail the healthcare industry is to allow psychopathic parasites to wedge themselves between the populace and the healthcare system. That will definitely solve problems. That will definitely be the path forward. You can see this, and the same people, by the way, who are making this argument that we need to privatize healthcare are the same people who, when they are in positions of power, cut funding for healthcare systems. So it's that classic self-reinforcing loop, right? We cut funding for healthcare systems. The healthcare systems can't operate properly. We argue in favor of privatization. And then if we get in power again, we cut funding for healthcare services again, right? And it's a cycle. And it's a cycle that the Liberals are involved in, incidentally. You notice how they're not expanding healthcare, right? You notice how they don't, when they come into power, they don't suddenly increase funding for healthcare, right? The classic cycle of cut funding for public health care. When the Liberals come in, they maintain the status quo, they maintain the level that it's at. Then the Conservatives come back in. And what do? They cut funding for healthcare. And now they're just going to explicitly seek privatization. You can see that here in Ontario. In the midst of this pandemic, Doug Ford has cut funding for the doctors and the nurses, right? They are literally begging him to actually do something to help the doctors and the nurses. I'm reading articles on my live stream, 6 to 9 p.m. Come on in, Eastern Standard Time. I'm reading articles on my live stream. Doctors who are working 6 days straight at 12-hour shifts, right? They're underfunded. They don't have people. There has been no recruitment effort. There has been no effort by the Ford administration to move forward. And now they're going to say, the collapsing healthcare system has nothing to do with the reduced funding, has nothing to do with the austerity that we've committed against the public. No. The reason is because the private market-based system is the most efficient way. This lie being put forward, of course, when we have all of the evidence we possibly could need that private healthcare systems fail when compared to the public option, right? We have over 100 nations who use public option versus the one country that exclusively privatizes their system, which is America. We know exactly who fares better. We know exactly what to do. We know exactly how it works, right? And yet we have people in our society who are still pretending as though privatization of our healthcare system is the accurate way to go. And at this point, the evidence is so clear-cut that I have to say that it's likely just a political strategy, right? Have the Conservatives stand up and say, yes, let's move forward on this failed ideology that doesn't actually work, that doesn't produce any results and spreads mass hardship into the populace, so that everyone will flee to the Liberals, who stand up and say, we will keep things exactly as they are, right? It is in this way that the Conservatives and the Liberals operate as allies. They work together with the goal of being the maintenance of the system of wealth extraction, right? That we are undergoing a wealth extraction system. And if the Conservatives can privatize it to extract more wealth from the society on behalf of their owners, they will. But if they can use it as a way to just get people to chase into the status quo party, the party that works for the ownership class in order to maintain order on behalf of the ownership class, then that's a win-win, right? So it's a complete win-win. People will either allow the psychopath class to privatize the system, or they'll maintain the system we currently have, which is already a system that's extracting billions and billions of dollars into the hands of the ownership class, is already a system that is collapsing and is abandoning huge segments of the population. It's already spreading misery and hardship, right? I guess the argument is that it isn't hurting enough people. What's embarrassing about all of this is that it's become obvious. The liberals have been promising for decades to expand the healthcare system to include things like pharmacare, eye coverage, dental, right? They've been campaigning on that for decades, and they haven't moved it even a tiny little bit because they're effective liars and grifters, and we're an extremely gullible population who goes along with any lie we're told, right? Oh, the liberals have said once again that they want to do pharmacare like they did the last 4 times. Oh, have they actually moved anything on it? No. Oh, well, better keep voting for them, right? The obviousness of this grift, the obviousness of who they are, and the obviousness of their allegiance in the game that they're playing. And what's shameful is that the third party, such that it exists, which is the NDP, have been equally as captured by this corporate power struggle, right? The NDP are sitting there in the wings, waiting for the inevitable abandonment of the conservatives and the liberals, which might happen in 20 years when people finally grow up and realize that their lives are more important than the wealth of the billionaire class. And once we all jump ship, we're going to jump on over to a party that's waiting in the wings on behalf of the capitalist class to do what? Just become the liberals again, right? Jagmeet Singh is essentially just an orange liberal. His incremental reformist policies, right? And his strategy of basically lying to the public and then not enacting it, right? That'll play completely, because that's who we are as a people. We're completely fine with that. And the government doesn't, the political parties don't need to tell the truth. We keep voting for them anyway. That's what's really odd about this. That, if you knew someone in your life who lied to you the way that these parties lie to you, you would cut them out, right? If you're a healthy person, if you want to live a reasonable life, and you have someone in your life who's constantly lying to you, telling enormous, egregious lies, you would cut them out. For some reason, when it comes to these political parties, they can lie to us all they want, and we just keep voting for them and saying, thank you, Daddy, right? This is why we need to organize outside of the political structure. The political structure itself has been purchased. It has been purchased in order to increase suffering in the society. I've actually begun saying, I think that these guys, the owners of the society, right? Your David Thompsons, your Westons, right? Here in Canada, down in the United States, your Bezoses, your Musks. I really do think that these guys want to destroy the world. I think that their goal is to actually destroy the planet. And the people who are defending them are like weird little death cultists. We're heading towards this mass extinction event. We're heading towards this incredible, disastrous moment that is obviously happening. And I feel like the billionaire class wants it. That they refuse to exist in a world that is going to kill them, right? As the world does. And so they're going to kill it back, right? As they step out the door due to their old age, they are going to strike back at vengeance at the system that dares kill them. Seems to be the case. And while they're at it, they're going to privatize our healthcare system. They're going to privatize every system they can in order to maximize the pain, in order to spread as much misery as they possibly can. We have to surround the halls of power. There's no option left to us. There is no electoral solution. It's very straightforward. That when we are organizing with people, when we are talking to people, it needs to be well understood, and we need to be open that our political system has failed us. It is illegitimate. It doesn't work anymore. It's been captured by a death cult that is hell-bent on its own destruction and our destruction. And if we don't organize in order to overwhelm it by surrounding it and redrawing our Constitution separate from it, it will destroy us. It's already trying. It's already doing it. We have to fight back. All right, guys, if you've made it to this point, like, share, subscribe. YouTube does everything it can to suppress leftist voices, right? That's not a conspiracy theory anymore. You've got David Dole, Kyle Kulinski, Chris Hedges, all saying they are experiencing YouTube suppression. It is a new form of neo-McCarthyism. We are being split from the conversation. We are being silenced. If you don't share it, no one sees it. That means the conversation is ceded to far-right fascist voices, which are ubiquitous and exist in the society and have become the loudest voices. We've got to fight back. We've got to push back. Patreon down below. Think about supporting. Always remember, guys, you are a quantum being living in quantum energy. These billionaires are spending hundreds of billions of dollars to try to convince you that there's something else going on. Don't let them. Rebel. Revolt. Repent. Good luck. We're going to need it.